Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the squad. This is the last show of the year. It's Black Thor, it's Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. Let's go to the college playoffs. I'm literally anticipating these games tomorrow because it's, you got Notre Dame playing, you got Boise State playing. I want to get from you, Black, your predictions, your thoughts about the bowl games that have been going on because there have been some exciting bowl games to my surprise. Some exciting bowl games that have been happening outside the playoffs, and your predictions for these bowl games coming up.
Well, the bowl games has been right, man. I'm gonna give them credit. They've been very good. I love the fact. I mean, even though it would have been on Thanksgiving, I mean, not Thanksgiving, New Year's Day might have been a little bit, but I love the fact New Year's Eve, man, how they got these games basically slotted right after each other, bang, bang, bang. You just basically sit in front of your TV all day, scratch your nuts if you want to. That's my time. That's my time of day for the most part.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I look at all the matchups, very good matchups, man, very good from top to bottom. I just, it was all said and done, I think Oregon's going to find themselves standing there. I just think they're going to find themselves, being the one that basically wins it all. And they may not, but when I look at it all, I think Ohio State's going to play them well. But I think Oregon, man, something about them, they just, and it's just not this year. They've been with this coach, they've been kind of building momentum for the past couple of years. I think they're going to be crowned.
All right. So I'm looking at them dogs from Georgia. I don't know. Everybody's counting them out this year from SEC. But your thoughts on the bowl games that have been happening and the bowl games that are in the playoffs, because the playoffs are exciting. But the bowl games that have been playing so far, man, I mean, they've been going to overtime. I was in a airport where it was the Oklahoma, they were coming back from the game and it was this big dude. He was wearing number 23 jersey, big dude, and he had like the Oklahoma jersey. And I just, had my hands up and like this. I'm like, what happened, man? Why y'all go for two? Y'all ain't got a good history going for two. He was like, man, we were just 1 point away, man. I don't understand why we just can't go into overtime. But your thoughts, man?
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I mean, you had to look deep and hard, and you pick who you pick, which is funny. So I'm trying to do this from a non-biased type situation, right? So I'm breaking it down, broke it down, looked at it a little bit. But first, Texas versus Arizona State. I think that game itself. The question is quickly, which Texas team is going to show up, right? Is it the Texas team we think with all of the players and everything like that too, or is it going to be the Texas team that played against Georgia, right? 2 times. And Georgia popped them. Second time, people, all right, there's no way. They got a backup quarterback. Georgia was like, we don't care. You can bring Charles Farm right here. We're going to put him on the we're going to win the ball game. And I think that's the point of Kirby Smart, but that's the question. So we know Arizona State more likely is not going to stop them defensively, but they like to score a lot of points. So they got an outstanding running back, and they like to put it up. So if it's a shootout, you could actually see some things happening there. So I think this is going to be interesting as well. Switching over to Sugar Bowl, Georgia versus Notre Dame. I mean, your heart goes out for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman, former Buckeye, all that other stuff. But Georgia has a backup quarterback, Gunnar Stockman, and he's number two, but they got some horses over there, man. And I think the key for Notre Dame is going to be control the ball of possession, play hard defense. They're old school Big Ten football. They want to control everything, but that's great until somebody hits you in the mouth. And you know how Georgia is. Like they hit Texas in the mouth the second time. Like, did he hit me again? Put your hand up. Did you hit me again? Can't stop it. And that's the danger of them of Kirby Smart motivating his players. It's dangerous as hell. And that's where they are really still an issue because they got athletes and they coming at you. And if they get inside of Notre Dame's ball control situation, could be crazy. Penn State, Boise State, same type of thing. Boise State, everybody's talking about the running back, right? Second up in the Heisman. And Penn State just looked really good last couple of weeks. But question is, though, everybody forget about the quarterback at Boise State.
Yeah, yeah.
He's only thrown, 3 interceptions? And the only team that they lost to was Oregon. And the Oregon team, they lost by 3 points. So they like to get up and down. Penn State is going to have to slow it down because we know unless you're playing somebody else, they have trouble scoring late. So that's going to be very interesting. I think Boise State had a really good chance there to see how that goes. So I would not be surprised with the running back and also the quarterback. Can Notre Dame keep up? I think that's very interesting from that standpoint. And then, of course, last but not least, you got to go over to where it matters, I guess, for certain people in Columbus, Ohio, Ohio State and Oregon. The thing, too, there is really interesting. We know what it was before. They both played. They have very similar stats. Question everybody wants to know about Ohio State is what Ohio State team is going to show up? You know, and I think people got the answer. We don't know. Every game is different. But when they played against Tennessee, they had something on their mind, and they wanted to come after it. Oregon is Oregon. They number one. They've been winning all year long. You can't take nothing from them. But what I'm interested to see is we saw a little chink in the armor when it came down to them stopping people and with their defense. And I think if Ohio State comes out full throttle, it's going to be a hell of a game. The quarterback for Oregon is top notch. They got a lot of players on that. But the question is with that I always ask the question is, Oregon has not lost all year long. They've been rolling. They've been rolling. And sometimes when you don't lose a game, and if you're not up where you want to be, this ain't Penn State. When you ain't up where you want to be, you start thinking about different things. And maybe they won't. Maybe they're that good. And maybe they are that good. I'll just say this. Ohio State's defense, I think, can play with anybody in the country when they're on point. Offensively, as long as the offensive coordinator and the coach don't get in the way. They can battle with anybody. I think it'll be a hell of a game. I think it'll come down to the end. And I just think, too, when you got all those things at Will Howard's disposal, Ibuka, you got Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. You got like 6 receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. Put it on the table, man. Put it on the table. And with that being said, I think they're going to get them. I really think they're going to be Oregon. And I'm not saying that from the standpoint of, oh, I live in Columbus. Yes, I do. I went to the Ohio State University. But I think they're focused. They're tired of people talking about that Michigan situation, and they're ready to go. So with that being said, if I have a team that say could win it all, that I don't know. I think the winner of this game, though, Ohio State, Oregon, is probably going to be the champion. Because if Oregon can beat Ohio State again with all that's coming at them, they will not face another team talent-wise that good, even Texas. Yeah. I just don't think they will. And for them to beat Ohio State twice, I mean, how much more confidence do you need?
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned about Boise State's the vertical game because they got a passing game that, complements the running game, and that's where they've been able to score a lot of points. Anything else, Black, on this, man? Because
he summed it up well, man. To me, I'm looking forward to some good competitive football. Basically, at the end, that's all I want to see. We had the blowouts early on, part of the playoffs. This should be some very good, tough football games. I mean, Georgia to me could kind of be like a dark horse. I just don't trust them. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. They're not as strong, consistent as they used to be. So again, I just believe it's all said and done. So all the smoke clears, Oregon.
All right, let's go to big boy football, NFL football. It's crunch time. The Eagles seem like they're back on track, even though they don't have their starting quarterback. The Bills lock up the AFC East. The Chiefs lock up home field advantage. The Steelers are limping into the finish line as we speak. Commanders punched their ticket. The draft order is all messed up. I don't know what these teams are thinking about. They're kind of setting themselves back up for years, winning games. Just put the 3rd and 4th strings in, practice squad in, and just lose these games and get you a good draft pick. Ice, your thoughts on the final week of the season, man?
Yeah, it's getting tight for the overall on the side of the NFC. NFC is pretty much, NFC is pretty much done. But the AFC is going to be really tight. So for that standpoint, because you got the Bengals, you got Miami, you got Denver thinking about it, that wild card situation. They're trying to figure out what's going on. But I think them Bengals, bro, they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it because Denver can win that. Miami's gonna win that game. I think they play the Jets, whoever. They're gonna beat whoever Miami's gonna win. But the Bengals have played one hell of a last half part of the season. That's gonna be very interesting. I'm really interested. And I know we're coming into these games, but I'm really interested to see what's going on because I think it's about to get tight. If you should really win these games. And what I mean by that is, because you look at the wild card, the way it come up now, if it should be, let's say Washington plays Green Bay, Detroit plays Tampa, right? Then that means you could have Green Bay, Minnesota in the semifinals and Detroit versus Philadelphia. Pick your poison, baby. It's real time. This is big boy football now. So you might want to not win. say you act like you don't care, you sitting starters down, it's real time. Because you tell me who you gonna pick between what Green Bay and Minnesota just went through and Detroit and Philly. So y'all think Philly really for real? And y'all gonna beat Detroit again? I cannot wait. Woo, man! I might bet a couple dollars. So that's what I got.
Black, your thoughts, man? It's crunch time.
I think Detroit's vulnerable, man. I really do. I mean, all season, nobody wanted to like the Vikings, bro. We all kind of looked at them like, when is Sam Darnold going to become Sam Darnold? And he hasn't become that yet, bro. And I watched them over this past weekend. It's scary. I think the Vikes basically are onto something. That coach gets no recognition. Hell of a coach, man. When they talk about coaching, his name don't even come up. I don't understand why. He gets no vote. He gets no confidence, no pub at all. But that team is playing well. I see them doing some damage right underneath the Eagles. I'm sorry, man. Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world. Cowboys, you got your ass kicked that bad yesterday. You hadn't fired that head coach. I don't care. Don't wait to the end of the season. He should not have flown back on the company jet, put him on Greyhound bus. You got to get him out of there, bro. I don't care. Micah Parsons, the rest of them. Michael Parsons, if you spend half the time talking about other teams that you do to dedicate your own team, maybe the Cowboys would be better. Shut up, man. Do your own homework on your own team. You talk about what name should be MVP Burrows. Shut up. Nobody will hear you talk, man. Go play. But realistically, some of these coaches, I don't like you said about not basically going out here winning games don't matter. They should be fired. The John head coach, I guess they're going to keep him. You should have been fired last week. What are you playing hard for? For what reason? You have 14 games in the season to play hard. Now you want to come down and score 35 points. That quarterback sat there the whole entire season. You would not put him in. So you don't look like a genius now. You got to be kidding me. You're not smart. So it amazes me, man, some of these decisions that they're making at this time of the season, I just don't understand it, bro. But let's not forget Kansas City, man, because quiet as kept. They're just sitting on summer. And I've said this before, and I don't mean no disrespect, bro. It's time for Mike Tomlin to go.
No.
Bro,
Come on.
It's Mike. Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, every year he gets you there, and he gets your heart gets broken. It's time. If anybody else, we'll bring somebody else in, a closer, to get you over the hump. Mike gets you there. He does a good job, but how many times have we seen this in the past seasons? When the last time the Steelers even sniffed? Just being honest. Sniff. They got the best fans that travel, but let's really get real. We talk about every other team. We talk about every other coach. But Mike Tomlin's like hands off. This ain't nothing new what we just seen happen with them. With the quarterback in there, can't look stupid, look buffoon, befuddled, can't play, throwing it to the other team clearly. This is what happens to a Mike Tomlin team, man. Let's get real. The defense now starting to wear down. They're not even good like they used to be, bro. So it's time for the Steelers. I'm being honest. And I grew up being Steelers like my second team coming up, basically because they kicked the pure daylights out the Cowboys and came down to the Super Bowl. But my point is, it's time to move forward, bro. And I like Mike like everybody else. I love the fact he got the job years ago. But let's look at what he's done when it comes down to playoff time, bro. Let's look at what he's done. They ran Andy Reid out of town a few years ago for the same reason. Same reason. Mike been doing it year after year after year after year after year. Let's get real.
Leave Coach T alone. No, I mean, I know it does. It is what it is. But you got to keep Coach T. You got to keep Coach T. You got to get more weapons. He ain't got enough. He just doesn't have enough. So no, he don't have enough. He don't have enough. So I'm just going to ignore your look at me like keep Coach T. Let's go on to NBA basketball. This surprised me a little bit, and maybe I'm wrong, Ice. Mike Brown gets an extension, a $30 million extension to go through 2026-27. And then, like, over the Christmas break, he gets fired. And I know Sacramento's not doing that well, but who else you going to get to replace him at Sacramento?
It's a good question. I think the problem is they went out and they signed DeRozan, right? Got him from Chicago, and they thought that was going to make it all magically, they're going to be magically healed because you hold on when you got the point guard there, and then you got big Sabonis there too. So they thought all these pieces were going to come together. And Mike Brown can only do what Mike Brown does. The guys got to step up. They got to perform. And I know you're like, well, that starts with the coach. But a very knowledgeable NBA veteran and solid assistant on championship teams told me something one time. I'm talking about the great Jim Clemens, Ohio native. I asked him a question. What was it like coaching Jordan and them and being an assistant in that room? He goes, well, technically I'm a teacher. He said, because the players do not allow you to coach them. There's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do when you're on that level. So he said Jordan and those guys had to buy into what we're doing. They had to let us teach them what we were trying to do to make it work with Tex Winter and the triangle and things like that. But if they don't buy in, you can just be able to cussing people out, doing whatever you want to. They have to buy in. So in a way, it's kind of like Sacramento's need to look at themselves and say, what the hell have we done? What are we doing? Who's not moving? Who's not doing whatever? And Mike Brown has had ups and downs. We know the Cleveland scenario, a couple other things. But as you said, what else and who else are you going to bring in to make the difference? I mean, you think about the same thing too. Let's keep it 100. We're going to go real back, which is why they catching hell from other people. Remember, Malone at Denver that was winning ball, that was won two championships, right? Where was he at before? Sacramento. And they got rid of him. They couldn't wait. They weren't patient enough. So he go to Denver and get him a couple pieces and wins. And y'all still losing. Damn, Vlade, you still over there with, come on, Vlade. I mean, somebody in the front office. So you got to think about that. Malone was there. The same dude that went from, I mean, you look at Denver, the talent and who they have, but the same dude that's orchestrating, keeping those guys on point over there and winning titles, nobody thought they would. Black Thor tell you about that. Talk about the big man never got no love, but they kept winning, right? So he does that, and he was in Sacramento. You get rid of him, and you still scrambling. So the question is, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Black.
Ice knocked out the park, man. I'm gonna say two words and a name that got him fired. De'Aaron Fox, bro. De'Aaron Fox is an underachiever. Let's be honest, man. When he called out De'Aaron Fox, he was done. Simple point, case in fact. Here's what goes on in the NBA. We've seen it last year in Milwaukee. When your star player starts to complain about the head coach, they're going to fire you. Point blank. You can't talk about them. Excuse my language. I know the kids might be asleep. A lot of these young players are pussified. They can't take constructive criticism. You say their name, their agent's calling the owner, blah, blah. You got to go. De'Aaron Fox, you ain't accomplished nothing in this league, bro. Think about this. You said they gave him a $30 million extension. What is De'Aaron Fox making? De'Aaron Fox an investment. The coach is not. So which one you're going to cut and stick bait with? You're going to cut the coach and stick with the player because they're going to go out there. That's your investment, hoping to get a return. He hasn't lived up to anything, bro. So, yeah, when he comes out and calls you and said you didn't close out on a play, come on, man. Ain't the first time you probably haven't been doing it. So now you got the rest of the pussy-fied players sitting around. Am I going to be next? I don't like the coach. He's talking about us. That's part of coaching. That's part of being a goddamn man. Excuse my language. It's what it is. But these players aren't men. They're pussy-fied. They done been on their mama's titties for so long, they can't take criticism. Yeah. All they want to do is jack up threes, run through the hole. Please don't touch me. Don't foul me. Mike is a real coach. He's won championships. He knows what he's talking about. Follow behind him, and he's right. If you can't be taught, if you don't want to listen, then that's why the NBA is in the state it's in now. You got a bunch of pussy-fied players that can't be coached. Give me a sneaker deal. Let me jack up all these shots, and let me get my points and go home. Go to the club, go to the strip club, make it rain. Good luck. That's why the ratings are down 45, 50%. We're tired of watching that trash. But guess what? They're bringing a head coach in, and De'Aaron Fox can be doing the same thing. Think about it. I think if he came out of Kentucky, what has he done in the NBA? What has he done?
True.
Nothing.
You both are on the money. You both are on the money. Because I was going to say it, but I was trying to figure it out when it first happened. And I'm like, somebody must have been a disgruntled player or whatever. And Sacramento, I thought, was on the cusp of doing something great. But then, they started falling off. And Mike Brown is a true coach. He's been there, done that, knows how to coach championship teams. And for you to get rid of him, I don't know what that says about your organization. I really don't. I really don't. But we're going to keep our eyes on the trades on the horizon. I keep hearing Pat Riley saying Butler's not going anywhere. Butler's requesting the trade. So we'll follow that a little bit later. But I want to get to a story we talked about yesterday on Mark's show or Black Thor show when Black Men Talk. Greg Gumbel, who became an ancestor, and get your thoughts and your stories, Black, about this man and his career.
Here's a cat, man, just showed up and did his job and basically led by example. And was a good man. Would he hold that put together anymore in this world, this common day world, man? This guy just showed up, basically, when you heard his voice, if you was walking in the room and the TV's on, you stop. What's going on? Maybe I missed it. College, NBA, football, no matter what the sports was, you could have basically have him doing horseshoes. Greg Gumbel could commentate and make you want to pay attention and watch. And that's what you're supposed to be. When you take a talent and you have a gift, you work it to the best of your ability, and that's what he did. And on top of that, he was a great guy. You just felt it, man. I mean, I know time when people basically come out when someone passed, we say some great things about him, but sometimes it's fluff. There's nothing fluff about Greg. Nothing, man. You just felt it when he was there, when he talked. He allowed other people to do what they had to do, but yet he stayed in control. He did not get out in front. So, man, wow. When you sent this out to us, to Charles and Ice and myself, man, it punched me in the gut. I mean, I know I haven't seen him in a while. I didn't know he was ill, but I'm like, damn, realistically, man. And sometimes when you really basically do your gift and your art well, you make people feel like they know you and they don't. You know, I feel like I've been to dinner with that cat, bro. I feel like I hung out with them. You know, we just basically called each other. Never met him in my life, but that's how I feel about Greg Gumbel.
Ice, your thoughts?
Yeah, as I said before, he's a true professional, right? Comes in and do his job, and some people might think that's corny, right? Because you're not trying to be down. You're not trying to teach you about the code, the latest slang, and trying to be down with the homies and all that other bullshit. It's really about, it's a time and place for everything. You can hang out and have a different vocabulary with different people when you were in your own set, offset, right? But when he was on his set and he was handling business, he was a professional. And that's what we need to show more people, younger people particularly, about being a professional first. And one thing too, though, that about when you think about sports and how many announcers that you hear, play-by-play or guys that are hosting, you know, the one thing that was amazing to me, and I thought about this when I thought about it, when it came back to me again for today, you didn't notice him.
Mm.
You didn't notice him. March Madness, all this hype and everybody, he let the players, you know, do their thing. They were the focus. He let the sports events shine. You didn't notice him. You just, all right, now we're going to the West region. In the West region, we have Brigham Young. I mean, that's what it was. His professionalism allowed the sports event to shine. That's what we want. We want somebody to be a great announcer where we don't even know. It's like, who's that's our boy, you know, Greg Gumbel doing this thing. But you love it. That Greg Gumbel had an opinion about, I mean, he never got in the way. That's what made him great. That's what made him a legend. Because he handled his business, he did his job, and he let the stars, who are the players and the analysts who've been there and been connected to it, shine. That's what a professional does.
Yeah, he's truly going to be missed. I know I'm going to miss him at March Madness and NFL games and any game he covered, but especially March Madness because that's when I just shut everything down and I'm focused on the basketball games. And when I hear his voice, when it starts, I know it's game on. Ain't no turning back. It's the train is rolling down the track. So peaceful journey, my friend. Let's go to quick hitters. Black, what's your quick hitter?
This goes to the fans of the New York Giants and the owner. I understand. The owner basically says, I'm bringing them both back. I'm bringing the general manager and the coach back. You dumbasses show up to the game and a sellout game and watch them play a game that means nothing. What's going on here, man? What's going on here, fans? You all jumping up and down. They beating the Colts like they won another Super Bowl. Stop it. Giants is being, that team, that organization should be run well. It's being run in the freaking ground. And the true Giants fans, we don't turn your back on the organization. So you guys out there drinking the Budweiser and whatever you're drinking, have a good time. You're watching a mediocre team. Mediocre team at best.
Not even that. Not even that. You're watching a train wreck. But Ice?
Yeah. Looking at something, a couple things. We didn't really hit on it, but I'm going to say it. The Los Angeles Lakers traded D'Lo, right? Traded him over back to Brooklyn. And then you get Dorian Finney-Smith and a couple other things. And I heard so many people that are Laker fans said, you know, D'Angelo Russell not doing this. That's the reason why the Lakers can't win. Really? Is that why the reason why they're not winning? You got all these other people, but he's the problem. So now, since you traded him, and now everything's going to come full circle. My question is Dorian Finney-Smith going to step into the limelight and get things done? Y'all know he's that 3D dude y'all like and all of them damn terms. Yeah, but is he going to step up into the mic when the pressure's on? So now my question is, who's going to run the point? Reeves? Or older veteran, older gentleman LeBron James. The one thing D'Angelo Russell could do when it came time, he knew how to play with stars. So he knew how to play with LeBron. He also knew how to play with AD. You come in, move the ball, put him in the right position. Now he didn't score. He didn't have all the points you guys are looking for, and he didn't score all the points. But when it came time to move the position, the ball where it was supposed to, he was a great point guard. And you know what he's gonna do in Brooklyn? They may not win the championship or nothing like that, but he's gonna fit right in because he's a real damn basketball player. He ain't 18 years old no more, and I guarantee you the Lakers will miss him. JJ Redick, it's on you, bro. I know you're trying to save your job. You better get some more pieces before the shot clock go out on the deadline, trading deadline.
Oh, it's gonna be real quick. Rookie of the year in the NFL, Jaden Daniels. Ain't no argument, ain't no debate. Just engravers, just engrave it on the trophy, hand it over to him. I don't care about the last game. Give it to him. That's our show. We'll be right back next year. Take care.